This week on VGR Lockdown, we're going to be discussing the hottest superstar in the WWE right now, none other than Bray Wyatt himself, the Fiend. Stick around. Let us in.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to VGR Lockdown. I am your host, Double A Ron, along with my main man, Steven. We are one of the best, the best wrestling podcasts in the world. If you don't believe that, all you got to do is let us in. We're here to talk about somebody that you all might know as Husky Harris. Some of you all might know as Bray Wyatt. I know him as The Fiend. In my opinion, the best thing in professional wrestling today, including AEW, Ring of Honor, New Japan, anything. I feel like everything about the execution of The Fiend / Bray Wyatt has been handled perfectly. I like the build. I like the Firefly Funhouse. I love the way he went against Finn Balor. I like the severed head. Everything looks spooky and creepy and weird, but at the same time, I love it. I feel like there should be a lot of big money into this Fiend character. I feel like he should be the guy that the legends are fed to get over. I would love to see The Fiend beat Goldberg in 20 seconds. I would love to see The Fiend beat Brock Lesnar in 30 seconds. I would love to see The Fiend beat Kane in 30 seconds. I would love to see The Fiend beat The Undertaker in 2 minutes. I would love to see The Fiend...
Why Taker get 2 minutes?
I just don't want to see Undertaker lose in 30 seconds. I like to see him wrestle a couple of minutes. Everybody else can get a couple seconds because that seems like to be their best work. Undertaker, a 3-5 minute match with The Fiend would be good as long as he loses. I would love to see The Fiend beat Seth Rollins, and I feel like it's going to be a point where The Fiend becomes a face because I really don't see why we should hate The Fiend. Yes, he attacks people off guard, but it seems like there's a big purpose of why he does what he does.
Why does he do what he does?
Well, I feel like Kurt Angle, for instance, he wronged him. He never gave in the Fiend's mind, never gave him the proper due.
But he forgave Randy Orton.
You don't know that yet.
Yeah, he tweeted it out. He forgave Randy Orton for
Bray
burning
Wyatt
his house down.
Forgives Randy Orton.
He
Bray
forgave
Wyatt,
Roman Reigns. But then again, you know what? You might actually be right because the first superstar he did come out and attack was Finn Balor. Somebody that he had previously feuded with.
Yeah, and I feel like with Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt got really sick. So they could twist that in the way that the demon puts some type of sickness on Bray Wyatt that he needed to heal from. And now that he's healed, he came back for revenge. Everything that he did, it seemed like there was a purpose. Mick Foley, he was a guy that I feel like Bray Wyatt was trying to, like always compare to. He was trying to shake that whole Mankind comparison. So he beat him down with his own move. Mankind actually represents a big, large part of...
Well, I mean, I think that was his way of taking his finishing move because he's now, ever since taking Mick Foley down with the mandible claw, he's taken down several other people with it as well.
Yeah, and that fits the character a lot. And honestly, I'm hearing that wasn't even written. That Mankind actually said, like, this whole Legends Night is cool and all, but are we going to do anything to put over the new generation? So, thank God for Mankind. He's one of my favorites. He's always been putting people over since the 90s. Even though he's won the belt, he's always been phenomenal at that. So, I got to say, I'm really happy. But anyways, I really feel like he's going to be a face, and I feel like he's going to be a big money draw. Now, face of the company, I don't know if Vince McMahon will allow that because the face, you got to wear suits and do interviews and stuff.
Well, it would be crazy to see the Fiend walking around though with the suit on, kind of the same way that a lot of the masked wrestlers walk around, where they'll be in their 3-piece suit with the Rey Mysterio mask on.
Well, honestly, to me that would actually be really funny is like if he's the Fiend in wrestling, but when he goes to do interviews, he's dressed in his sweaters and stuff, and he just comes across as like this real nice guy here for the kids and stuff. But then when he goes back to wrestling, he goes back as the Fiend. I think that would be interesting. So even still, he might be able to be the face if he could pull off the nice Bray Wyatt Like, if he could do the John Cena thing, like, I'm here for the kids to make the kids happy. Hello, kids, you want to come play in my fun house? But low-key, he has the Fiend behind him.
Let me in. Exactly.
So, like I said, I think earlier you said that they have this as a possibility they could mess this up. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to give you $40 billion and then let's see if you find a way to mess that up. I mean, I don't know how you mess it up.
They've messed up a whole lot more before.
What are some ways you think they can mess it up?
Let Vince McMahon put his hand on it.
I feel like Vince McMahon, at the very least, signed off on some stuff, and I think he has some input in that whole thing with Bray Wyatt, right? No?
I don't know. I mean, sometimes he has, pretty much said, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna let you go, and you make it work."
I think Bray Wyatt, at the very least, had to come and ask some input from Vince with that whole
I don't
Vince
think
McMahon
so. I think at the beginning,
thing.
it really was just Bray Wyatt.
At the beginning. But
and
with that
the
whole
saving
muscle
grace
man dance,
was, that was funny.
I think Vince McMahon was involved in that somehow. He had something to do with that.
I mean, you know what, though? But Vince has never been, as much as he humiliates other people, the one good thing about Vince is everybody can get it and be the butt of a joke. And Vince McMahon isn't above that. I mean, he peed his pants on national television. Yeah. So I can see him letting that fly.
Letting it fly, but I'm sure he has some input. That's all I'm saying. Now, I like I said, they need to book him, and it has to be no one that's untouchable. Like, and Goldberg, I know he's not used to doing this. I know he's probably not going to like this. The Fiend should be the one guy that should be able to take him out. Or just legends from the past. The reason why, like, for instance, with Braun Strowman, why Braun Strowman felt special is he was doing things that no one else was doing. No one was flipping ambulances.
Whoa. I mean, you got to revise that because Braun Strowman was only doing the same stuff, just, I guess, at a slightly elevated level as my guy.
Who's that?
Sexual Chocolate. Mark Henry.
Sexual Chocolate was not around.
It doesn't matter, but it was all stuff that it's not like what Braun, and I'm a Braun Strowman fan, so let's not get it twisted. But
I'm talking current roster stuff.
He was doing the same stuff that Mark Henry was doing.
He was not doing no one else on the current roster was doing what Braun Strowman was doing, and that's
not right now. I mean, but there was nobody. There's nobody that's Braun Strowman's size.
Okay, but that's all I'm saying is that's why he seems so special compared to everybody else.
Then again, I don't know. I think Drew McIntyre could give Braun Strowman a run for his money for some of those feats that he was doing.
Maybe so, but Drew McIntyre wasn't even employed in the company when Braun Strowman was doing that stuff. But when they started making Braun Strowman like everybody else, he has to do comedy. He's a face now, so he has to wrestle with a kid, beat a great tag team by himself, and he has to be in the Andre Battle Memorial. And
see, I felt like the whole thing with what was his name, Nicholas. Yeah. It was a weird situation, and I don't think it was for comedic purposes. It was to say that Braun was so big, so strong, so good that he could beat a tag team with a child. Because think about it, Nicholas didn't even step foot in the ring.
He did.
Never executed. Did he do a move?
No.
Exactly. No moves, no nothing. He got to stand on the side of the ring and collect the title.
So him posing
youngest
with the belt,
champion ever.
Him posing with the belt didn't make you laugh a little bit?
Youngest champion ever.
I think that was done for comedy.
Dominic won't even be able to do that.
Hey, maybe not. But all I'm saying is the way they utilized Braun Strowman was horrible, and then they did the Big Show booking with him, turned him heel for a month just to turn him back face, we have no idea what he is. I don't know. Like that whole thing with the Shield, even though the Shield looked like heels in that situation, they wanted Braun Strowman to be a heel, and as soon as we started buying him as a heel, we turned him back face. Like I said, it's stuff like that ruined Braun Strowman as far as being a bona fide main eventer, but not to a point where he can't be redeemed. Bray Wyatt, they booked him so well for so long, and it seems like such an easy character to book, creep people out, and win matches. I feel like that's an easy formula.
It's not. It really isn't. I mean, granted, I guess they've had some success with Undertaker and Kane, but it's weird because if you take them and you put them in a bubble, it works very well. And with Bray Wyatt, the issue that you're going to run into over time is making it work. Like right now, even with the whole Finn Balor feud, as brief as it was, outside of their match, they kept them completely separate the entire time. There was no time that both Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor were in the ring at the same time. And what makes the Fiend work is the ability to do post-production with his promos. So it's at some point he's going to have to step foot in a ring with somebody, and it's how you're going to get that to work.
Doing promos, have him come out there as Bray Wyatt and come out there as this innocent guy, and then see if he could do let's see how fast he could change clothes.
That's extremely difficult to do because the change between Bray Wyatt and the Fiend, you got hair, you got the mask, and you got clothing.
So you untie the hair, and then underneath the clothes, you have the Fiend's get up.
You can't have that jacket under a sweater.
It doesn't have to be a jacket. Even if the Fiend comes out with his tank top and his white and black pants, I feel like that should be enough, a good enough for change. Someone else I would like to do is, I don't know if they're going to do this. I know that we're supposed to see a Demon versus Fiend match.
Nah.
One-on-one.
I think Balor's gone.
He'll be back, though.
Because I'm like, from what I heard,
he's taking a break, but
yeah,
he's not
taking
gone.
a break.
No, I'm saying when he comes back, he's always going to come back. Maybe he can join Bray Wyatt, and then Luke Harper can join Bray Wyatt.
You still on this Luke Harper train, man.
What is he doing?
Nothing.
Okay, well, if they're going to keep him there for...
No. We're going to let Luke Harper sit at home and continue to get paid to do nothing.
Nah, I think they're going to use him.
He going to sit at home and get paid to do nothing.
You've not Vince McMahon, and this is my idea, all right? Ain't your idea. It's my idea. Now,
he going to sit at home
and I want Luke
and
Harper
continue
to
to get paid to do nothing.
Maybe he might stay.
Nah, Luke Harper going to be the guy to try to kill Roman Reigns.
That would be interesting. I actually would love to see that match. But, I mean, what do you think? 'Cause, I mean, earlier you said that you didn't like the Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. What was wrong with that match?
It wasn't the match. It was that you had Bray Wyatt go straight to the Fiend. I'm not a fan of the selective memory of the Demon. It's one of those things where his entire time on the main roster, it's been real selective when he breaks out the Demon. And I'm sorry, but when you're going up against Bray Wyatt, who you already know for a fact got a alternate personality, that's the Fiend, it made absolutely no sense whatsoever that Finn Balor didn't instantly go Demon.
I agree. I thought he was, but this is my thing. I think they're trying to build this story about how the Fiend pretty much kicked the hell out of Finn Balor. Like, that wasn't even a back and forth match. I mean, that was just a straight up annihilation. Now, I think they're trying to kind of play the story of like what they painted with John Cena, where John Cena needed to bring out his inner monster to beat Brock Lesnar because Brock Lesnar annihilated him. So maybe after getting whooped like that this first match, that's going to awaken the Demon in Finn Balor when he comes back.
See, but I wish they would have had some sort of storyline with Bray Wyatt. Not starting it right now, but at least in the past, where there was an excuse given for him not being the Demon more often. It's like, hell, you won the Universal title, first Universal Champion ever, as the Demon.
I could have sworn he was Finn Balor when he won the belt.
No, he was the Demon.
Because that was on Raw, right?
No, that was when he beat Roman.
Oh, yeah, that was.
But it's like, you won it as the Demon. And when you were NXT, you was very successful as the Demon.
I'm really confused. And Vince McMahon, from all reports, likes the Demon, but he doesn't like Finn. So I would think that the Vince McMahon want the Demon character to be out more, especially since the garbage they gave Finn Balor to do, like using him as a
even
way to,
when he was in Japan, he was the Demon.
Yeah, and then they use the way they use Finn Balor, like that whole Kane thing, when they were literally using Finn Balor to lose the Kane to go after Braun Strowman. I mean, I don't know. Like they said, they've done a lot of questionable stuff with Finn, but I was cool with him not being the Demon to start off because I feel like it's going to be a redemption story on his way out. Like, imagine if he came out as the Demon and he lost the way he did. Then it's like, no matter what you do, he's just, the Fiend is just too much for you to handle. Now, if he loses the way he did and comes back as the Demon, it seems like a far more interesting match that the Demon has more of a chance of winning.
Here's the problem that you run into, though. Say, for instance, he does have to go, he realizes that he's going to have to be the Demon to beat Bray Wyatt, right? So he comes back, he gets his win back over Bray Wyatt. Now, and I was just talking about this a second ago, would he not continue to be the Demon?
That's their booking decision. Personally, me, I don't think that he should win. I don't think that Finn Balor, the Demon, should beat the Fiend, honestly. I think that they should be able, I think that they should have like a 15, 20-minute match, but I don't think that he should beat I don't think he should beat the Fiend. I honestly think that the Demon should join the Fiend, and they should cause chaos all across the WWE. I think that, to me, would be a much interesting story anyways. Because he's a cult leader. That should be his purpose.
I have no argument for you.
So I'm hoping that's what they do. But like you said, booking. But to a point where if the Fiend doesn't have at least a interesting title reign,
I don't think he needs a title.
He might not need a title.
For that type of character, it's kind of like Undertaker back in the day. Undertaker never needed a belt.
But he got the belt.
He got it. After years and years.
This is the first rookie year. What you talking about?
Yeah, and back in the day, that was the equivalent of having the belt for a day.
How long did he have it?
Like, one pay-per-view to the next. It wasn't that long. Even, if you look at Undertaker's title reigns isn't really a who's who of long title reigns. He get it here and there, a few months, and he's off the belt.
Yeah, no, they're short-lived. But I could say this. I don't want to compare the Fiend to the Undertaker. I feel like Bray Wyatt might bring in something interesting to make more of an interesting... Might bring something different to make more of an interesting champion. So, we'll see.
Yeah. But hey, that's all the time we got for the day. Once again, thanks for listening to us. Make sure... subscribe to our channel, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and all you got to do is let us in.